Hey guys, and welcome to another Spectres of the Rail video. We're going through the major changes to Warframe introduced in this update, and we're going to be taking a look at possibly one of the biggest changes to the game in a fairly long time, and that is the brand new star map. Now, I put this question to you guys on Twitter last night as to whether you felt this video needed to be made, and the overwhelming majority of you guys wanted to see me take a look at this. Now, the controls of the map, they are slightly different than they were before. Left click obviously selects the planet and zooms into it. You can also scroll with your mouse wheel in towards the planet, however I would recommend clicking on it rather than scrolling. Scrolling can be a little bit weird right now, especially since it zooms into wherever you have the centre of your screen, rather than where your mouse pointer is, so left clicking is definitely the best way to go with it. Much like the left click selecting the planets, you can use right click to zoom out onto the map overview, and the same with scrolling out as well. In terms of the progression through the planets now, it's very clear where you need to go. A solid white diamond is something you've already unlocked and run before. Blue diamonds where you've unlocked it but you've never run that node. And a black diamond is a node where you cannot currently select. So it's pretty easy to work out which nodes you've completed and which ones you still need to do. To complete a planet fully now, you not only need to open each of the nodes, beat the boss, and then unlock the junction to the next planet that you want to progress onto. No spoilers though as to what you're going to find on those junctions, however, it's going to be very easy for veteran players, although it's probably going to be a very good fight as a newer player. However, talking about bosses, certain bosses have moved position, so I'll quickly run down where they are now. Mercury still has Captain Vor, Venus still has Jackal, Earth still has Vahek, Mars has actually been switched with the Phobos tileset, which makes a lot more sense than it did before. That now has Krill as its main boss. Jupiter still has Salad V. Saturn still Ruck. Uranus still Tilragor. Neptune's the Hyena Pack. Pluto I can't check yet because of one of the failings of the star map. It was Ambulus before, and I don't think it's changed, but I can't confirm that. Europa still Raptor. The double boss from Phobos is now, which was Krill and Vor. That's now on Ceres. Eris is the Jordas Golem. Sedna is Kayla, and Phobos has not only become Corpus now, but it has the Sergeant on as well. Now these are the current boss locations. They may change, but it's fairly doubtful right now. But the major changes have been things like enemy levels, what planet they're on, but to be honest, it's more specifically with the Grineer than anything else. For example, Ceres that held Vedich, which was my focus farming spot. It was a place where I got a lot of my footage. Those of you that have followed me for a while would know I got a lot of footage from there. Also had Draco on Ceres. That was everybody's favourite farming spot. Now it's a much lower level planet with enemies around 13 to 15. So it's way less of a high level than it was before. The highest level Grineer planet now is Sedna. With, and I'm probably going to butcher the name so I'll put it on screen, Berahania being the best levelling spot that I've found so far, although Oceanium on Pluto still exists, so I doubt I'm going to change my forming and my levelling techniques all that much. In addition to these, some of the tilesets in the star map have a Cephalon fragment to collect, and while I've not completed those yet, I've heard it unlocks some pretty cool lore once you've scanned them all. Plus, they are marked on map when you're close to them, so just scan them with your codec scanner and you will progress through that, so they're not that hard to do. They're definitely nowhere near something like the ever-present Courier. They are definitely not as hard to find as those, but it is something to do while you're just messing around on your star chart. Now, I believe that is all the major changes to the star map right now. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. If there's anything else you want me to talk about, I could do another video just in case. So let's talk a little bit about what I think of it so far. And so far, I'm pretty positive about the whole thing. Yes, there are clearly issues with it right now. Trust me, I don't think it's perfect. In fact, it's far from it. But most of which, I would guess, are probably just really hard-hitting bugs. Like not being able to select a node when there's an alert or the sortie on it. Which is the reason I can't check what boss is on Pluto right now. Because if there is one, it's completely covered by my Syndicate mission or the sortie and no way of selecting the normal node. I couldn't check it at all. So it's progression stopping because you then can't actually play that boss at all either. So that is definitely something that needs to be looked at. In addition to that, we do have Nightmare alerts, but it does seem like Nightmare missions are nowhere to be found right now. Now that could be related to the same issue as above, and not wanting to force people to run Nightmare, and obviously not being able to select the normal one, it may have been disabled entirely, but that is another bug that is affecting how the star map is playing out, since one of the junctions actually relies on them to be able to advance. Now the controls for the actual star map itself are a little bit weird. If you scroll in too much by accident and then try to click the planet, you might not see the nodes on the planet, but you've zoomed in far enough, you can still click them and accidentally send you into, send yourself into a mission you don't want to be in. And that's before we get to the fact that the font is extremely small, and some of the icons are fairly difficult to see. Trying to find an Arcwing node is a mission in of itself. Maybe you should get a reward just for actually managing to find the node. But that's not saying I hate everything about the map. In fact, the idea and the theory of it is excellent. Clearer progression that gives the newer player an actual visual indication they are actually progressing through the game, which the previous map completely lacked. In fact, from that regard, from that point of view, the previous map was a complete mess. The junctions are an incredibly cool idea as well, with the majority of the requirements for the next junction being able to be completed simply by playing that planet through. And the fact that you can see the requirements for the next junction, the next planet, as soon as you unlock that planet, not only do you have a sense of clear progression through the map, you also have a bit more of a focused idea as to what you have needed to achieve by the end of completing that planet, as well as alternative ways of picking up quest lines, then simply activating them in the codex. Then there are the small touches, cleaning up of the nodes, making some of the tile sets make sense, like switching Mars and Phobos for example, putting an infested node, I think it might be on Mercury. In fact, I think Apollodorus is now an infested node, which is to tie in with the quest. You've also got a Sharkwing node, the Uranus tile set, the underwater tile set, which is on Earth in the middle of the ocean. So you've got little tiny little bits like that that seem to make sense. And then you've got the addition of the destroyed relays into the map as well, giving an idea of some of the history of the game. Although personally, an information prompt a little bit about the circumstances of the destruction of the relays would be pretty cool as well. It gives the newer player an idea and a sense that there is history in the game. That this is not something that's new, that's only just come around, that it's been progressing for some time now. But the star map, let's be honest here, it is going to take some getting used to. Combined with quite a few bug fixes and some iterations on the systems the new star maps introduced, the star map has built a pretty decent foundation onto which they can expand the universe and add more onto. It's actually inspired an idea for a game mode from me, and while I may spell it out in a future video, especially once I've expanded it further in my own mind, I probably will do that as well. But the possibilities with the new Starchart is huge. But for now, we need to provide feedback and help develop it to the point where it's actually usable. Because there's so many issues right now, but I can't imagine they will be there for long. Once again, I would love to hear your feedback on this in the comments below. There will be a cover art video coming soon. Currently, I'm progressing my way through forming them, so I've got that still to do. So keep a lookout for that. It'll probably be tomorrow, may even be today, depending on, how quickly I manage to get it done. But as always, guys, many thanks for watching, and I shall see you in the next video.